Good morning, good vibes, and it is good to see your face. I am in Austin, Texas. The mask mandate has been lifted for just a couple days now. I wanted to get on a plane immediately and experience what it's like to fly without a mask again for the first time in 2 years. So I hopped on a flight with your mom's favorite flight attendant from Salt Lake down here to Austin, and now I'm turning around and going right back. For a lot of people, flying without the mask just means that you're flying more comfortably. For those of us in the airline industry, it means we have our old jobs back. We're no longer playing babysitter or policeman. We're not stuck in the middle between enforcing a policy that was not ours and being viewed as the villains, and then also being weary on how people would react when we have to enforce these rules that aren't ours. So to celebrate, I brought a Polaroid camera and I'm taking pictures of people's faces in exchange for some stories or reactions while we wait for the Polaroid to develop. Lego. This. So, oh, you're not supposed to shake it.
Oh.
But
from a flight attendant's perspective, I'm most excited not to have to deal with the confrontation of asking someone to put their mask back on or wear it the correct way or whatever. But I'm also just most excited so I can see everybody's smiles again. I'm a really smiley person, so it'll be fun to have those exchanges again.
hey, thanks, darling.
Of course.
Have a good
Yeah.
flight.
Thank you, lover.
They make no sense, and now they're back.
So I am.
I know that the mask mandate was super hard on flight crew. I was wondering when you caught word that it was lifting, what was the emotion you felt?
So when the company actually came out and emailed us and said, hey, masks were optional, I still chose to wear my mask during flight because we do still have people who are immunocompromised who still are very uncomfortable with that. So you want to be supportive of those people, but also not necessarily celebrate the no mask situation. Because we did deal with a lot. It was very traumatic.
Right.
I still have PTSD when I'm walking down the aisles. I'm doing like my safety checks. I'm like, he's not wearing a mask, but he doesn't need one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm just kind of like, okay. There was a sense of relief, but also you still want to be there for those passengers who are very, very much still in this like bubble where they
Right.
can't take these masks off.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of balance.
Massive level of understanding that has to come with.
I understand the relief because we did deal with a lot as flight attendants wearing the mask, because I think that when masks were on, kindness went away, civility went away,
Yeah.
understanding went away. Other than that, I don't know. How do you feel about it? I feel like I took over the conversation.
I'm not sure that I could have really said that any better. I was concerned for the dynamic on planes for that same reason. People making comments that might be off color or off-putting and just not thinking about how we interact with people, right?
100%.
Saying, like, oh, you know that we can take this off, right?
Right.
When you don't know what the person sitting
going
next to
through.
the story is.
Absolutely.
Right? And so just wanting people to be kind and compassionate and just to see humanity for what it
Yeah.
is, right? And the
Yeah.
differences and the complexity, right?
Right.
Very complex.
What was the emotional feeling you felt when you first heard that the mandate was lifted officially?
It was kind of a little like back and forth because first it was announced, right? And then it was like, we're kind of waiting for Delta's reply. Like,
Right.
So we're kind of like, is this really happening?
Right.
And we're only 2 weeks away, so it was kind of like, oh boy, we're going to deal with all this.
Yeah.
It expires in 2 weeks anyways. Yeah. But I was actually flying that day. I was deadheading on a flight. And the pilot gets on the PA and he announces, as of 30 minutes ago, Delta has said, it is optional to wear your mask or not. Everyone starts cheering. And like, it was pretty funny to like be there and witness that happen
Right.
in real time,
Yeah.
you know, rather than just like hearing the articles and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I think I was excited because I think just monitoring people can be exhausting for us. I think it's been a hard
Right.
2 years as a flight attendant, but I think we're excited to have it be gone, and hopefully we can stay healthy.
Yeah.
And
Right.
hopefully, it'll be positive going forward.
What was the hardest part for you?
I think the hardest part for me was just like, we were kind of made the face of it, even though like people just assumed things, and I was always very pro-mask, but it was like, because you were the one enforcing it, like oh, now we've got all these assumptions about
Right.
your personal feelings,
Right.
and things like that, you know. And it's like, oh, it's you agreed to it before you got here, and it's the same as putting on your seatbelt. I'm going to tell you to put on your seatbelt. I'm going to tell you to put on your
Exactly.
mask. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was,
I think also being the face of customer service and being, you know, serving people drinks and giving good customer service while also saying, but I need you to put your mask on, is a hard balance.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's going to be good going forward.
2 quick questions.
Yeah.
The first, do you remember the emotional feeling you felt when they lifted the mask ban, when you got word of that?
Well, honestly, I didn't like read the memo. I didn't get it, and then I walked in to work on Monday, and then nobody was wearing masks. I'm like, this is awkward. What's going on? So there was just that. I was just like, oh, and then one of my coworkers told me, like, oh, okay. So it was just it wasn't like because I thought they were gonna extend it again. They were
Right.
extending it once, so it's like, hey, I was hoping like, oh, I was thinking like, you know, for the summer they're gonna lift it, and then for the winter they're gonna roll it back.
Pull it back?
It's I don't have like any feeling towards it. If it happens, it happens. One of my buddies already got COVID from not having a mask.
With the mask mandate being lifted, did that get you stoked for travel? Do you care?
We never really had a problem wearing them.
Yeah, like especially like having to wear them all day at work. It's not super too much like of a bother at this point. It's kind of used to it. I feel naked if anything without it now.
So the mask mandate was just lifted and you had this flight booked. What was that feeling like? Were you stoked to not have to wear the mask? Was it kind of indifferent to you?
We just found out like an hour ago. Yeah. I didn't think it was real. Yeah. Well, not real, but I didn't think it would happen to our flight. Yeah. We might
It's-
be boring subjects, but I think we're fine with wearing them. We're fine with that.